and then they started talking about, like the temptation and urge to be utterly distracted when you're like, let's say you had to write something, you got to write a script for a new EJ video or something. Then there's always that pull to be like, well, maybe I should just browse Wikipedia or, whatever, social media or whatever. I remember having that problem, never to any extreme. I don't have ADD or anything, but I think to a normal extent, like in college when I had to write a thesis paper, something I really didn't want to do. I'm like, I'm just gonna for 20 minutes do something a little bit more recreational. Always feeling that pull. I realized as they were talking about this, I think I've grown out of it completely. Like I think I don't ever, like if I'm plugged into some task now, the task is what I'm really, if anything, like if somebody comes along and wants to like fuck with me while I'm trying to get my task done, that's what sets me off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree at 3000%. Yeah, I definitely procrastinated. I don't think I'm very good for school. Like my temperament, I was good at school. Like I got good grades, but I never liked it, and I always procrastinated. And now that I'm an adult, if there's things I want to do, I'll do them, and I'll find the time to do them.
Yeah.
And I'll like even when I'm working, like I'll be rendering a project at work, and then I'll be like, oh, I can like type a part of my script for my YouTube video on my phone while that renders.
Totally.
like it's like I definitely compartmentalize all of my tasks, and I try to accomplish them when I have time, or like when Anna will take the boys out somewhere and I have like free time for like 30 minutes. Holy shit, I get so many tasks done.
Like no way you're gonna squander that on like surfing the internet. No way.
Never. Right. Never. Like I will like put some like clothes in the laundry, then I'll like start like one of my mead projects, then I'll like do this, and it's like I do so much in 30 minutes. Like I'll do a little part of the garden, I'll do this, and it's like,
so you and I are just we're just the same person, because like I it must have something to do with the reward system of closing out tasks. Like I am very biased toward like closing out tasks. It happened earlier today where we now have 3:00 Fridays where we can during the summertime the day ends at 3:00, and I was gonna try to end early or on time, I guess, so I'd have a little extra time. And then Nina and Gloria came home, and there were still like 4 things, and each one was going to take maybe 7 minutes. And so I was like kind of like desperate for like, well, maybe I can do 2 of these. And then I was like getting greedy. I was like, maybe I can get 4 things done. And I was just, none of them were fun, but I wanted to get. So I ended up in this situation where I was kind of almost like begging. I was like, can you guys kind of like just remain occupied and not make me feel guilty in any way for just continuing to be productive?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I that's like my whole life. That's like my whole life. Is like I need to get some things done around this house. I need to get, or whether it's personal projects or actually stuff that needs to get done.
We have to recognize how cool of a thing it is that when you're writing an EJ review script, you're not like, your mind's not wandering, and you're not, my guess is that if your mind does wander, it's only because you're multitasking. It's because you're also working on some other thing.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I usually, when I'm working on something, I'm usually like really concentrating. I'm pretty tunnel visiony.
Like if you look at, if there's some internet-y thing that pulls your attention away for a minute, my guess is, like me, there's something innate about you at this point in your life that pulls you right back to the task, where you're just like, ugh, no.
Yeah. I mean, especially recently, I've been trying not to be on social media. Not that it's been that much of a distraction. It's just like, there's just no, I've been finding no benefit from social media. So I've just been like trying to do less and less of it.
Do you remember the early days of it when I remember people saying like, oh, it's really addictive and I spend way too much time on it in the early days, like 2004. And let's talk about Facebook instead of MySpace, because MySpace, I guess I could see how you could peruse it longer, but all Facebook was a bunch of people's boring templated profiles. Like, I don't understand how that could be all that entertaining. A few photos maybe, but yeah, it's funny how like the concept of a status, like, well, maybe this profile should have a status. And then it was like, oh, well, what if there was a feed of statuses? And like that, once there was a feed of statuses, that's the social media that we know today. That changed the internet.
I remember people were mad about the status feed.
Yeah, the wall.
Yeah.
Another brick in the wall.
Yeah. Yes. I remember that being like a huge controversy at the time.
Yeah, they're like, keep Facebook just a bunch of boring profiles.
Yeah, it's like I don't want everyone to see me like update my profile. It's like
they didn't know how to.
You have to go to the profile to see what I updated.
Right. Totally.
This is privacy.